I forgot to change the title of this thing. I think it still says game show, doesn't it? The stream says game show. Tain't no game show. I just did that where I could say tain't. Yeah, I'm going up against a Stars game tonight. This is so unwise. So maybe I'll just make this a short stream. You know what? All you hockey fans out there, hey, thank you, Shadow Loves Me. Subscribed Tier 1 for 3 months there. Thank you so much for that. I want to hear these alerts a little bit louder. How can I get those louder? Hope you guys are hearing them on the stream well enough. The alerts. Happy game show. Happy game show. Taint on taint. I do need the leg lamp from Christmas Story, TD Finn. All I got is this thing. This nice, beautiful lamp from a French store called Target. I have that and several other ones that match it. You know, when you... It's the kind of that mid-century modern look. So, yeah, you know, so we didn't do this last week because we were up against the NFL draft, and I thought that would be bad to do to Norm. It seems like this mic should be a little bit out of the picture, but it's not. Thought it would be unwise to do that to Norm. He works so hard on that draft, makes his big board. He goes to, I don't know, Hobby Lobby or Joann Fabrics or something and buys himself a big board, and he puts felt on it and all sorts of decorations and little googly eyes on it and things like that. So I figured I don't want to compete with Norm and go up against the ticket specialty programming. So I made an executive decision. Since we had done the game show the week before, and that was full of production value and whatnot, and also various technical issues, I figured we'll take a week off. So that's exactly what I did. And that made it so I had to get over here to the bunker a little bit early today. I say early, but I was still hemmed in by my appearance on the hard line. I drove down there to the studio and then got here as soon as I could to try to dismantle the game show and get this working. So, hey, thank you. I appreciate you. Look at this. Tico, just always giving gifts. I love this. Easy Queso, thank you for your subscription. Amkada77, thank you very much. Tico Savage, man, you're such a hero. I really appreciate that. You've gifted so many subs to so many people here. And for those of you who don't know, if you are a subscriber to this Twitch channel, you don't get those ads. You get to watch this thing ad-free, and there'll be some other benefits in the near future. You know, I just remembered something that I wanted to get ready for this show that I didn't have time to do. And I just might do it. Hold on a second. Let's see if I've got it. Oh yeah, I do have it. Awesome. Okay. I may play this at some point. Why is it setting up the media player? Oh, don't tell me I can't play it. Well, I won't mess with that right now. I'll talk to you guys instead. But it did have some funny audio. I thought it was pretty funny. Will somebody... Oh, entering the Dunham Zone. Sorry to hear about that. I didn't know that... I'm not sure how far behind this monitor I have of our stream. Why are we getting so many commercials? I don't get that. They just played one towards the beginning. And now we're getting more commercials. I told them that I only wanted 30, I think it was 30 seconds of ads every hour. And now we're getting more ads. Behind at least a minute for me. Okay. That at least helps me out to know what's going on. Who was that? Big Dog Gaming. Thank you so much for that. T-Pain was on that commercial. I didn't see it. I need to change my notification there from Little Red Riding Hood. We need to like a rotator of some kind. So it's not always the same thing. Oh, my hair is driving me nuts. Any advice, Gordo, about what? You ask me about something specific, I'll give you some advice. I'll do that. I'm at tier, Mac from way back says tier 2 allows me to view shirtless Gordon. You know, I would like to do that. that would be great if I could put a video filter on this that would actually make me look shirtless at all times, but with really beautiful, like tasteful C cup bordering on D's, you know, just showing the right amount of lobe on each one of them. My volume is really low. Okay, I can crank that up. Let's see. Maybe you can hear me better now. Was my volume really low, or was your phone or computer just turned down? I don't know. I'll also put that up a little bit too. All right, so I don't want to blow out anyone's speakers. Just know that I adjusted and turned this up. What is it when I see confetti on here? Level 3 complete. What does that mean? You guys probably know more about Twitch than I do. I don't know what that means. Big Marv 93, paying it forward. Thank you so much. Look at all that. Gifting quite a few subscriptions there. Bunky Bars, thank you for subscribing. You're on the subscription. Okay. All right, Shirtless Monty. We may get that here in a little bit if I have everything set up correctly. Is it weird to have a child with someone and not get married, says P1 Trash Panda. I don't think so. Not anymore. It's not unusual anymore. I know some people who've been in relationships for a long period of time, never got married, had a kid together, and still haven't got married. And I don't exactly know. I'm trying to think that through. So their idea is, like you ask them, they say they're committed. No, I mean, we're committed. We just don't see any point in getting married. And I never understood that, because it's like, well, there is a point. There's a bunch of legal advantages to being married. And I suppose they may look at those legal advantages as being legal disadvantages, because that means that they are actually legally bound to them in a partnership, in a business partnership, which is the proceeds of the marriage, but you also get, you know, tax benefits and things like that. So I guess I'm not really sure. I'm sure some of you people may be in that situation where you've been with someone for many years and you basically are married, except not legally. Paul in says, I look like Charles Manson. Oh, I see. If you want to get lucky, meet me at Buc-ee's. Yeah, we were talking about that. Like, how easy is it for just your average guy, you know, someone that looks like me, no extensive facial scarring, but not, you know, certainly not a model. I mean, not a good looking person, but an average person. Could they go into a truck stop bathroom and score with another guy? Or because it's the type of guy who wants to hook up with guys in truck stop bathrooms, does he not have extremely high standards when it comes to looks to begin with? I thought that it would be a 50-50 shot whether or not I could score. I think Dave Lane said that he thought any of us could score. Thank you, Jay Reezy Men, for subscribing. And thank you, Mad Max a Billion, for subscribing as well. So I don't know. I don't know. I've never tried it, and to be quite honest, I think I'm a bit scared to try it, because what if I say, hey, no, I'm just doing an experiment for a hypothetical that was shared on local national AM radio. I don't really want to hook up. And then the guy knifes me in the esophagus, because maybe the rules of bathroom hookups are you can't back out of the deal once you've entered into the foyer of gas station hookups. I don't know. Jetface says, do you ever find it troubling that you never grew out of your liberal thought pattern? I'm assuming he thinks I have a liberal thought pattern, and he does not like it. Let's see. Muser Lot Lizard Remote. Great idea. That would be funny. Why is panties pluralized but underwear not? And why isn't it, why are panties? Okay, last part a little bit confusing. Panties is plural for the same reason that pants are plural. And I don't know why that is, because I don't know that if there was ever a time in which we just wore a pant, which would be one leg. Kind of like how at one time before we got smart and developed glasses, we just had the monocle. People just wore the one little monocle. And then we decided, let's wear two monocles. And then I'm assuming some genius after that says, why don't I connect the two monocles together and then give them arms that go back over the ears? And then we got glasses. So I don't know if pant started off and we just had the one pant and then we put on another pant and then somebody decided, let's connect them in the crotch area. That's a theory. I don't know. I'm just a pantsy, okay? Well, Oswald reference. Yeah, we don't have, someone mentions monocle arm, Gothlipsberger. So why don't we have at least one arm on the monocle that goes back over your ear? Wouldn't that stabilize the monocle a little bit instead of having to do you get crunch eye when you're having to squeeze down on it? Like, was it Colonel Klink who had a monocle in Hogan's Heroes? Or was that the general? Now I can't remember. You guys would know better than I do. May the 4th. Yes, it is May the 4th. So we do have to acknowledge that this is a Star Wars day. So, and I haven't watched a Star Wars product, movie, TV show in probably about 30 years. So, I don't know. People say watch The Mandalorian, watch, what's the other one, Andor? Hey, guys. But, I don't know. You know, I have stopped watching the past 3 or 4 series that I started. I started with The Shrinking, right? Shrinking, the Harrison Ford one, and I haven't finished it. And I watched like 9 episodes, something like that. And then I just kind of stopped watching it. I started watching Beef. And that's a limited run thing. It's got 10 episodes? I think I'm at 8 and I just kind of stagnated, didn't watch the rest of it. So, is it ADHD? I don't know if it's ADHD. I don't know. It could be. But it's just, did I finish Last of Us? I did finish the first season of Last of Us. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that was good. It obviously held me. I can't figure out why I stopped watching Beef, because it's entertaining. I thought the performances were great. I don't know. White Lotus, yes, that's one that I watched all the episodes of. White Lotus, I loved it. The Leftovers, I watched all of The Leftovers. Was that with the Thoreau guy? Justin Thoreau? Henry David Justin Thoreau? True Detective Season 1, watched it. Enjoyed it. Yeah. Alice in Borderland on Netflix, much better than Squid Games. Okay. I don't know anything about Alice in Borderland. I watched all of Squid Games. I thought it was good. I watched the English dub of it. And people hate that, right? You're not supposed to watch the English dub, man. You gotta watch it in the original language. I think I actually switched off from time to time. I'd check out the English dub and then I'd watch it in the Korean. Severance is the best thing I've watched in the last year. I've loved Severance. It's only had the 1 season though, right? They haven't come out with the second season, or they had 2 seasons. I can't remember how long it's been. How long it's been on the air, whether they've done the 2 seasons or not. But I'm up to date on Severance, however many seasons there have been. Jury Duty. Yes, I finished Jury Duty. Loved it, although I do have a slight critique with it. I think as you watch it, you get towards the end, and then they bust the gag and they let Ronald know that he's been on hidden camera the whole time. I felt like they sold us this, he's such a great guy, and hey, the findings of the trial are that you are the true hero in America, and that all teachers and soldiers bow to you and everything. I think they did all that because you start realizing as they bust the gag with him, what a kind of a sorry thing that is that they did to the guy. And I guarantee you that there is stuff on the cutting room floor of Ronald making snarky comments about someone, gossiping about one of the other people to someone on the jury. And they took all that out because they knew they had to make this a real fluff piece on him to justify the fact that they did this very sorry thing to the guy and had him constantly surveilled. Now, I could be wrong on that because he did know that the camera was on him. So it's not like they had hidden cameras in that sense. I guess they did because we have the two-way mirrors, and I'm sure a lot of those interactions he thought were not being filmed in the way that they were. He certainly didn't know the full extent of it. So I don't know. It was just a little bit creepy. You know, I'm not going to read the whole name, but I'll just go with that, says, I was telling my girlfriend the exact same thing, that I would have been so pissed if I were him. And you could see it, I think, cross his face when the judge tells him that this has been a setup. He looks confused, a little bit annoyed or angry, but also confused and bewildered. It was a complicated swirl of emotions that flashed on his face, but I just thought it was a little bit icky. Just a little bit. I enjoyed the hell out of the show. The show is funny. The scenarios that they come up with and put him in they're funny. But Jury Duty is on Freevee, which is, if you're a Prime subscriber, which hopefully you are because you get a free Twitch subscription if you're an Amazon Prime person, and I hope you use it right here. Like Light Daber just subscribed at tier 1. Thank you for that. Did I just give away the whole plot? Lindsay from South Carolina asked that. Lindsay, another great P1 of this, our Discord talks and the Twitch stream. No, I didn't give away the whole plot. They basically tell you right up front that this thing is, you know, what the premise of the show is, and I don't think that I've given away the whole plot by letting you know that they let him know at the end that he was set up and that this was an experiment and he's the only one that's not an actor. Even in the reviews of the thing, that's talked about. But they did have to dedicate, I think, a whole episode of feel-good cleanup, which we've all been there, haven't we? Cleaning up your feel-good. But they had to do a whole episode of feel-good cleanup just to make sure that you didn't feel that you felt like they properly canonized this man. Thank you, Triple Fake, subscribing. Thoughtless Pawn, also, thank you for subscribing. Let's see. It only has 63% on Roddy T's. Is that true? That Jury Duty only has 63%? Yeah, Marsden in the Dunham Zone. Yeah, that's extremely funny and uncomfortable. Marsden is an interesting character in this, and as Junior and I were talking about, I think this was off the air, but we were talking about how once an actor does something like this, like a show like Jury Duty, which James Marsden is a real actor. You've seen him in Westworld and many other things. Once they do a funny show like this, they are always on my good side unless they do something very offensive, and we force them out of culture. But just the fact that he did this and played an exaggerated version of a really self-involved Hollywood guy, he's funny in it. And when he Dunham zones the hotel bathroom, there you go, Lindsay. That's not mentioned, I don't think, in a lot of the reviews. But you're in for a treat. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. Is The Big Lebowski the best movie ever? Ask Peanut Nutty. Peanutty. I'm not going with the rest of the name, but no, it is not. As a matter of fact, I hate saying this because so many people I respect love that movie. I've just never been a Big Lebowski fan. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't have said that. But it's kind of true. All right, hold on a second. I forgot to tweet out when we first started, so I'm going to twizz one more time here, and we will make sure that this happens. Boy, this is. Let me see. I did that wrong. You guys talk amongst yourselves in the chat for just a moment.
youtube.com/@spotsgreek.
Everyone have a good day today? We had nice weather, didn't we? I wanted to mow the lawn today and then didn't get around to it. I got so much crap going on in my life right now. I can't even get into it all, but a lot going on. Persian Texan, yeah. So what's up, everyone? Persian Texan, another fantastic, great P1 there. Justin Monty. Yeah, we got Monty tuning in. I love that. Maybe we should call Monty here in a little bit. Who should we call tonight? Oh, we should check in on Dan, right? Because I asked Dan if he would come on the Twitch stream once. And he said, yeah, I did. So let me see if I can get this to work. Like I said, Huey was over here and messed with a lot of this stuff. I say messed. That sounds like a negative thing. He adjusted a lot of this stuff for that game show. And I hope I got it all set back right. Let me see. Dan McDowell. I think I have him saved under the name 420 in my phone. So if I do this and pull up this, and then I'll try this here. Okay. Hold on. Can y'all hear him ringing? I bet you can't even hear him ringing. Hold on. He didn't answer. He did not answer. We could try Jake. Who wants me to call Jake? Pause for station identification. Yeah, this is high level stuff that's happening here. Okay. So we're plugged up. And let me go over to this camera here. This is why I need a technical director. I need one of you guys to volunteer to come help me on Thursday nights. Come over to the bunker, which, by the way, checked on the bunker tortoise today. She's doing great. She's so cute. I love looking out there, seeing her sunning on a rock or something like that. I don't know why. I never even thought about tortoises in my life, and now I found that one tortoise, and I'm obsessed with taking care of her. Where is the bunker? Deep, deep underground. You can't even find it, even if you tried. I don't think. Okay, see if... Now you can hear it ringing. But it's a matter of trying to get the picture up. Hold on. Ah, there it is. He won't answer. This is crazy. Hold on. We'll try this. Why is that not up? Hold on. You guys are doing great. Maybe I should do this. Let me pull up this and... Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Norman Bates Hitchkus, and I'm hosting my 73rd annual draft coverage right here on the ticket. Ruff. Donnie is apparently laying out on me here. I'm not sure why he's not talking, but I'm really excited about this year's draft, and I've got a pretty good intuition as to how it's going to go. I feel pretty certain, in fact, I would say 100% certain, that there will be more players that go in the first round of this NFL draft than the Oakland A's will have fans at a home game in the stands at their next home game.
We got you. Yeah. Less than 32. Okay.
The A's haven't had more than 24 people in the stands since the dead body of General Francisco Francismo in the Nixon administration. But joining us on the bad stick and glazed Garrett Hotline,
can you hear that?
Is the man who saved so much time not kissing women that he...
Could y'all hear Norm and the Goose? You could? You could hear this? Okay.
He learned everything there is to know about football and more. He's the man who put goo and goose. He's Rick Gosling, firmly from the Dallas Morning News.
So you can hear that, right? Good. You guys can hear it. Do you want to hear the rest of it? While I get this, get it ready to call? Okay. I'm going to play it.
I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Aggie Man 91.
And he's known as the Goose! Goose! How are you doing this morning, pal?
Morning, Norman. Best week of the year. But I've been better personally. I fell this morning on my toy phaser. Poked me right through my shorts, kind of an Art Modell injury.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry to hear that, pal. So sorry. I'm going to make this very clear. That this next question is from me, Norman Adolph Hitchkus, to my friend Richard Dick Goslin. Rick, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Goose?
Yep.
Goose? Does it hurt?
Well, yeah, it hurts.
Oh, good. Hey, thought I lost you there for a moment, pal. Norman Menendez Brothers Hitchkus here. And we're covering the NFL draft the way it should be covered with Tricky Rick. Rick Goslin, the Goose. Goose, okay, it's time to get down to business. Goose, who do you
have going to
Bryce
Carolina as the first overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft? How did you know I was going to ask you that? Goose!
Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama, best quarterback in the draft. Team's desperate for that position. I don't think he's a great prospect personally, but GMs are willing to live or die with the quarterback. Young's the guy.
Goose, it's amazing. Your declarative statement sounds so sure and confident. But I have to ask you about this pick, Goose. I mean, he's not any taller than an Oompa Loompa. I mean,
What, Norm?
an Oompa Loompa is from the Willy Wonka movie in the early 70s.
That's past my time, Norm. I had already exited childhood.
Oh. Anyway, it was Oompa Loompas were, kind of these little midgets that just kind of wander around and walk funny. But why do they only give midgets creepy parts in movies back in the day, Goose?
Can't say that anymore, Norm.
Dare I say they only gave them small parts. Just, hey. Okay, with the number 2 pick, who does Houston...
Stroud, quarterback, Ohio State.
Goose, how did you know I was going to ask you the number 2 pick directly after the number 1 pick?
Like I said about the young pick, teams are falling all over themselves. Take a quarterback. Stroud's the guy here.
You are amazing, my beloved Karnak. Your ability to see the future is unparalleled in sports broadcasting.
Norm, you and I love the draft more than we love our vintage Barbie collections. So
Hey, you get that right, pal. You get that right. My name is Norman Dahmer Hitchkus. You can reach me on my Facegram at marylover49@gmail.com. So text your comments and opinions to that bulletin board number I just gave you, and we'll read them on the air. Ruff. Yeah, we're entering the 21st century, pal. Goose, the Cowboys have the 26th pick in this year's NFL draft. Whoa! Goose, you already had the answer.
he's a Witten clone. Jerry loved Witten, loves hanging on to the past. This is a way of going back to the present.
My
Mayor
God!
starts immediately.
Goose, you answer more rapidly than Mary dumps me off at the ER when I need medical intervention. Goose, this is incredible. Goose, let me ask you something. Do you have, like a, I guess you would call it a surprise pick. Do you have a surprise pick in this year?
Wilmeyer.
Gross! My God, that pick surprised me more than I was surprised to find out when Mary's adult sons were poisoning my leftovers after the location of my estate planning documents. But Goose, this is amazing.
Norman, he's my pick to click. Jonathan Wilmeyer. He's a punt blocker from Jacksonville State. I'd take him in the first round personally, but I'm more obsessed with special teams than I am with Star Trek. I think he goes in the third round to be accurate here. Jonathan Wilmeyer, punt blocker.
Goose, your powers of prognostication are only rivaled by your powers of virginity. Goose! I love you, pal.
Love you too, Norman. Time for me to go.
Pal.
Got to work on my board.
Johnny,
man.
not really speaking of it there.
There they go. Norm and the Goose. Now we are ready for the NFL draft. All right, it's 8:40. It's 8:48 on the ticket.
Oh, my goodness. I'd forgotten how funny that one was. That was a good high-energy Norm and the Goose. Oh, my goodness. That's funny. All right, let me see. I got a text here from a guy. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, Monty says that fake Norman the Goose from 2020 was even funnier. Let me see if I can find this and see what this sounds like. Here we go. There.
We all have our passions.
Wait. Whoa.
The NFL draft.
That doesn't seem right.
It's time now.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'll have to find that. Let me see if I can find it here. You guys are awesome for being so patient. That's my loud keyboard. I still have one of those old IBM Model M keyboards, which is so great.
I really appreciate
you. Okay. Hold on. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you. Okay. I see what I did wrong.
I really appreciate
Okay. God, why is it giving me all these answers? We do one other thing, and then we'll be ready to go. I'm just curious. We don't have to listen to the whole thing. I just want to see what happened in it. Because why is this not coming up? I'm getting it for you. We'll do it. If only Monty had emailed me, maybe it would have been easier. There we go. All right. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you, pal. This is what happens. See, I need like intermission music where I can just hit a button and send you guys to do something fun, to listen to something fun. Go over here to mail. Go over here. I've got this email address, this new email address associated with this Twitch extravaganza. And it sends every frickin' thing to junk. It is so annoying. Makes me absolutely crazy. Okay. I appreciate you. I really appreciate you, pal. Why is that not doing it? Oh, I know why. I always get confused. I'm a Mac guy, and this is Windows, and it makes me absolutely crazy that the key shortcuts aren't the same.
We all have our passions. Norm's is the NFL draft.
Y'all can hear that, right?
And it's time now for our 2020 NFL draft recap with Norm and the Goose.
Good morning and happy good morning. My name is Norman Mangala Hitchkus, and I do thank you for joining us on this fine morning. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but I am currently going through a mid-sentence slowdown in order to act like I'm emphasizing some really important insight. But in reality, I've just forgotten what I was trying to say when I started this sentence. So, with that in mind, it's time to evaluate the draft with the man who put the word virgin in virgin daiquiri. He's the man who still holds the record for memorizing the most historical phone books in one sitting, the man who learned to ride a bike at the age of 50. He's the man who once beat an intern to within an inch of her life.
Oh,
and he's a #1 fan of watching Mindhunter while edging on a Friday night. He's the expert, the one, the only Rick Gosselin, also known as A.K.A. Noom de Plume Dickies!
Norman, my friend, hello. Didn't do the intern thing. Just coming down from a post-draft high. So orgasmic for me, Norman, every year. Love the draft, and quite frankly, I love you.
Oh, so I love you too, pal. Welcome, pal. I just want to make this very clear that this next and first question is from me, Norman Fitzgerald Hitchkus, to my friend Rick Margaret Gosling. All right, now, is that very clear as to who is asking this question and to whom it is being asked? I just want to make sure we have all that clear.
Clear.
Okay, and the question is this, and I want to ask you.
I didn't know.
Oh, I was going to ask you which team had the best draft in your opinion, Goose. I nary got the first portion of the interrogative past my foul Polish lips before you had already provided the answer to my query. Goose, you're a genius. Please continue.
Pittsburgh, Claypool, top wide receiver in the draft, in my opinion. Love Highsmith. Loved what the Steelers did. Gave him an A+.
Oh, jeez, Goose, I appreciate you, pal. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, urban person. I just appreciate you, Cool Breeze. I'm so much more street now. So much more street now. I don't know what's changed in the past few years on the show to make me so street. But anyway, totally crunk George Jefferson. Really appreciate that answer there, Goose. Okay, Goose. Now, okay, Goose, which team had
Seattle.
the worst draft in your opinion, Goose? It's happened again. You've answered my question before I even finished asking it, and I didn't even have a chance to make it clear that the next question was going to be from me, Norman Dama Hitchkins, to my friend Goose Pull Pot Goslin.
I felt like Pete Carroll was reaching all weekend. Seattle's clueless. I thought they had a bad draft. Norman gave him an F.
Wow, Goose. We're visiting with Rick Goslin of the Dallas Morning News, also a longtime friend of mine. Goose, let me be very clear as to who is asking you this next question. My Social Security number is 438-273-8681. My blood type is O negative, making me a universal donor. My name is Norman Hitchkins, and I'm asking you the following question. Okay, just wanted to make sure you got it very clear.
Your identification.
Rick, how do you think the Cowboys did?
A+. Loved their draft. Jerry, Steven, Will McClay, Mike McCarthy. Stuck to a plan, stuck to their board. Lamb's a star, Diggs a steal. A+ for the Cowboys, Norman.
Goose! That was a fantastic answer.
Thank you, Norm.
Now, Goose, we know that you love weird, crazy positions. Who was the best kick blocker, or KB, as you put it, in this draft?
Kid by the name of Roosevelt, KB from Louisville. He wasn't drafted. I think the entire league missed out. He's an extraordinary athlete. I think he's got a home in the CFL in the future. Teams are going to regret that, Norman.
With a siren.
Goose! That was fantastic. Now, let me ask you this. Just kind of get to know a little bit of Goose here. How did you spend your draft weekend?
I decompressed the same way I always do after the draft, Norman. I drove down to Houston for a Battlestar Galactica convention. I love dressing up as a Cylon. I like taking target practice with a Colonial Warrior blaster. Lots of fun. It's my way of getting away from football for a moment.
Love the insight there into your life. Oh my gosh. It's fantastic.
Pulling back the sci-fi curtain for you, Norman.
Oh, and I do love it, pal. I love it so much. Thank you, Goose. Thank you, Goose. I love you,
Norman,
pal.
I got to go because you know why?
Why?
I got to get to work on the 2021 draft.
Oh, yes, that's commitment. That is why we have him on the show. That was the expert, Rick Lady Macbeth Hitchkins Goslin. I'm Norman Hitchkins, and we thank you for joining us. Urban will rejoin me in just a moment. Until then, sup, girl. Sup, girl.
Okay. Here it is, the 2020 NFL Draft Recap with Norm and the Goose.
I really appreciate you.
Okay, so I don't know that it was better. I actually like the one we did recently, I think, better. I think that one had a few elements that were surprising to me, that made me giggle. Just sit back and giggle. I wasn't expecting the reverb when Norm started with his siren-type laughs. That took me by surprise. Obviously, this was at the time when Norm was... I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but after Donnie joined the show, all of a sudden Norm's trying to talk more hip, and he was calling people homes and stuff like this. It was just, it was a little generationally painful. So that's what some of that content was about, which was funny. I thought, sup girl, sup girl. Oh yeah, I love doing Norm and the Goose. Why don't we do them more often? I don't know why we don't do them more often. I mean, we could find reasons other than a draft to have Goose on and them do their shtick together. Someone, I think it was Lindsay, asked what's my favorite character to do, and then she said if I did characters. I that is a common misconception. People think that I do characters or do bits, or I'm not sure of the nomenclature there, but I don't do characters. You know, we have these real fake guests on. But if I did do characters, I think that fake Norm would be right up there, and fake Jerry. Elmer Wayne is kind of a sleeper for me. If I did characters, I think that I would always like writing country-based characters, like your fake Chan Galeys or your real fake Elmer Wayne. Those. And also, I would go with a little fake tiger, too. Yeah, someone mentions Little Girl Grego. Any of the fake Gregos, those were historically my favorites and still were. I always loved doing fake Grego. Those were classic. And I wish that people, you know, we have so many listeners now who don't even remember who Grego was. He was a talk show host on our station way back in the early days of the ticket, for the first, 10, 12 years, somewhere in there. And 12 years, I think, 13. And he was also spoke with a country accent. So you can see some common things involved in the characters. I love doing that. Pop-up characters are part of my everyday life now. Yeah, I do pop-up characters. I'm sure you all are tired of hearing them on the air when you hear in the background somebody say, "Hey, guys." But in my everyday life, I can't let it go by when I hear someone, you'll be checking out in a store and someone says, I don't know, they mentioned something that has a general concept, and I can't help but say under my breath, at ease. Justin Montemayor asked, who's writing the 840 bits now? Because we have the writer's strike. It's a Chat GPT thing now. It's gone full Chat GPT. Nigel, that's a character that was killed off. We've only killed 3 characters that I know of. Officially killed them. There are lots of characters that we just don't do anymore. But actual death of characters, Nigel, we abandoned him on an island. We had a vote, and the P1s voted Nigel to leave. And that was a British foreign exchange student, like elementary aged foreign exchange student. Or actually, I think he was adult, but he still had the mindset and thoughts of a child. I think that's the way it was. And Georgie hated Nigel, hated him. And he got voted off the island. The other 2 were caddies, Chauncey and Marmalade. Craig pushed them off the tower at the Colonial one time, and they fell to their deaths right in front of our broadcast location. And we didn't skip a beat. We finished the show. But Craig pushed them to their deaths. Slappy and Backfat. Was it Slappy and Backfat? Oh, Chauncey and Marmalade pushed to their deaths, but their cousins, Slappy and Backfat, they appeared. And we did them for a while. A little bit of a workaround. Does Jubb hate the Skinlanans, or is it real, or is it just a bit that he hates them? No, he hates them. George actually does not like the Skinlanans. it's very weird. Just to pull back the curtain a little bit, all of us have characters that beat us. And like, it's so strange because the three of us have such similar senses of humor, right? You would think that we all like the same things, but we don't. And George gets truly kicked in the nuts by the Skinlonen brothers. And Craig and I find them to be the funniest. I think we have laughed harder at the Skinlonens than any other character. I mean, even in the improv lines that we just do in commercial breaks and stuff like that, Craig and I just get the biggest kick out of them, and George cannot stand them. Historically divisive characters. Fake Tiger, the My Dad Earl bit, genuinely throws George into the turnbuckle of life. I don't know why, but he does. Does George hate the Skinlonens or Coco more? He hates them both equally because he sees no difference in the two of those. Goth Lipsberger asked, what character beats you down? Referring to me. You know, I don't know that I'm beaten down by a character from the perspective of listening to them like as a bit. What beats me, if I had anything to do with the characters, is some of them just, it's more of a beating to write than the other ones. And should I tell you which ones they are? I don't know. Maybe I would tell just the subscribers. You know what? It looks like I've lost the ability to throw it to an ad. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think I can throw it to an ad again. I used to have control over when I threw it to an ad. Now I don't. Okay. This is a good one. Okay, the one I'm about to talk about is a good example of there being a difference between the writing and execution of something and the enjoyment I get from just listening to it as unbiased of a observer as I can be. But the character of Sports Panties, to me, for whatever reason, is it takes me longer to, if I did it, would take me longer to write. Thank you, Benet81, for subscribing. And then in performing the character, if I performed it,
I really appreciate you.
to maintain that low energy and slower pace of a character, it's more trying to do that, because when you're doing a character, you know, it's better to have high energy, and high energy characters are usually more home runny. And so you're always out on a high wire a little bit more when you're having to do a character that just doesn't talk very loud. So something like Sports Panties. There's another one though that encountered recently that's more difficult to write. You know, I used to really enjoy writing fake Billy Tubbs. And then lately I was like, I don't know what have I not covered with fake Billy Tubbs? I don't even know if people remember fake Billy Tubbs. We did him recently. We did Willie Tubbs, his brother or cousin or something like that. But he used to be one of my favorites to write. And then the past few times it's been like, man, I don't know. I was having a hard time coming up with stuff. Chan Gailey, maybe my favorite one to write of all time, is fake Chan Gailey. Loved fake Chan Gailey, old Cowboys coach. I used to also love all of the fake Jerry and fake Wade bits. I don't know if y'all remember that. We used to have a set piece in that each time where Jerry was always leading Wade out into the woods to try to kill him in an extravagant fashion. And Wade, being so kind of dumb, he wouldn't even realize that Jerry was trying to kill him and would just wander back covered in dirt. No matter where Jerry dropped him off, he would come back like a stray cat and coach the next week for him. I thought those bits were funny. Yeah, it was very Of Mice and Men, Hippo Experience. That's exactly right. It was very Lenny and George of Mice and Men. Fake Bob Ortigal. Wonder if we could still do that one. Fake Zach Martin. Did we ever do Zach Martin? I don't remember that. What's your favorite coach from all teams? That from Taco Period. I don't know whether that's a real question or not.
I really appreciate you.
Hey, thank you, Nip Burglar 1, subscribing at the tier 1 level. They're all tier 1 subscriptions, right? We're all tier 1 in God's eyes. Oh, June's Rick Steves is golden. Yes, we need to get him to do another Rick Steves. I'm certainly glad you said that.
Appreciate you.
I will remind him that we haven't done Rick Steves in a while. It's so funny, too, because he and I used to do that all the time off the air. I mean, we didn't even have the thought of putting it on the air when we used to talk to each other in Rick Steves' voice all the time. And then I think pretty sure it was Junes who came up with the idea to make him talk about sports in between travel tips, which is great. Love fake Rick Steves. Yeah, ask a local. When you're going, have a stein of beer. Randy Cody. Good Lord, I totally forgot about that character. We need to put him in rotation again. Forgot about Randy Cody, and I love that stuff too with Randy Cody because I love home improvement junk and I love tools and I love talking about renovation, and I love hanging around any work guy to pick up all the jargon and just the way they talk, and those guys who are real men who don't make their living talking into a microphone. If I had it to do over again, I would be a carpenter. I think carpenters are genius. Like I don't know, not necessarily a frame carpenter, but I'd love to do all kinds of carpentry. Trim carpentry and stuff, though, that's interesting. I don't think I could be a furniture maker. You have to think so far in advance, and I used to do these building projects with my dad, and he always amazed me that he could think things out ahead of time in a way that I couldn't. I'm sure now you just design everything on CAD, right? And it can give you your takeoff list and materials list and all that. You don't have to figure it up yourself. Koozie says, I work in the industrial HVAC. Yeah, I'd love to do a ride along with you. I'd love to learn all about those big machines. My buddy Huey, he does HVAC stuff. I think that's interesting, personally. Mushmouth is overdue. You know, that's a controversial one. I think a lot of people think that Mushmouth is noise pollution. They don't like Mushmouth. The most controversial characters that we do. That's an interesting one. I think that people are more divided on maybe Mushmouth. Look at that. That's a different. Oh, Jason Thompson subscribed. Now, I heard that, and I heard that loudly. So why is that different than the Little Red Riding Hood one? I don't know. Jason Kidd is a beating. Okay, Easy Weezy 34 doesn't like the fake Jason Kidd. Interesting. Okay. I'll remember that. The Small Texan said, Mushmouth has run its course. Don't call him an it, sir. Thanks to Lee Harvey Oswald 4269 for gifting a sub. Steve in the Attic. God, you guys are, I'm going to have to write some of these down because I've forgotten a lot of these characters. And we're always looking for characters to do. Steve in the Attic. What was the other one we said? Randy Cody. And somebody mentioned Woody Allen. I think that's another very divisive one. I think a lot of people either don't even know who Woody Allen is or they just can't stand it. Honestly, George hates fake Woody Allen. Craig is intrigued with the fake Woody Allen, but it drains him, which I can get it. It drains me to fake Woody Allen. Norman and Saxey, another one I'd forgotten about. That's the caller that gets offended by George and Craig not thinking his ideas are any good. And he always has really bad sports ideas. Dylan, the argumentative teen. Haven't done him in a while. Yeah, Steve did originate in this very bunker right here because he lived in the attic here in the bunker. It was kind of a takeoff on the old Chris Elliott character, wasn't it? He used to do on the Letterman show, the guy that lived under the stands or whatever. Stossel Rooney. That's a good one. Are people beaten by Stossel Rooney? If they remember it. It was the love child of John Stossel and Andy Rooney, two guys who are not exactly relevant anymore. But he would wander around and have meandering points. Slapshot Brothers. Dude, we're in the hockey playoffs and we have not even thought about the Slapshot Brothers. Boy, I ought to come on here and get ideas from you guys all the time. That's genius. AIDS-riddled Santa Claus. Yes, we will. I don't know what he's riddled with, and I'm offended that you said that. But we will talk with him at Christmas time. Dr. Vaginissimus. That character's too weird, but I probably should see if I can schedule him. Boy, you guys are full. Microphone Johnson, is it possible to repurpose him and bring him back? Fake Michelle Wee. Man trying to have a period. Medieval bully. Okay, write it down. Didn't the medieval bully go to finishing school or something? And last time we talked to him and he talked all hoity-toity. Fake Greg Olson. Yeah, we'll wait till football season to do him again. How about Marge? Has Marge run her course? Is it about time that they fish Marge's body out of the Trinity? You could make a case. You could make a case. Gas Cap Louie. Haven't done Sports Dracula. What's Sports Dracula? Is that a real thing we did? Sports Dracula? Evil German scientist Mercedes. Yeah. For those who don't remember it, it's too complicated to explain. Kill Marge. There we go. Generic P1 says kill Marge. Not Frank says Marge isn't okay. Outfield Angel says was used for him. Robot Skip Bayless. Kentucky Derby winner next week. Yeah, there you go. Got to have the winner of the Kentucky Derby on. Ding Dong Nicodemus and Fruit Dog. Did we ever do them on the air, though? I don't think we did them on the air. It was just a concept we talked about, right? Sergeant Buck Maverick from the field. That one makes George uncomfortable. There's some inside information for you. George feels uncomfortable because he's like, I don't want people to think we're making fun of people who served in the military. We're like, no one thinks that. It's just ridiculous. And this guy doesn't even serve in the military. He's like this guy who's out of his mind thinking he's serving in the military, but yet ask about, hey, you guys are going to really be at Rally House, Texas next week. I'm thinking about coming out there and seeing you. Deep Throat Informant. See, I think that may be more controversial. Some people may not like him. Crazy Prospector, Dallas Bryant. Fake Chan-Ho Park. I don't know what you're talking about there. Poydras Poydras was never a character. Sports Dracula. Okay, I'll look this up. Sports Dracula 10. Okay, that's not a real date. The 32nd of October of 2017. That doesn't make sense. Andy Panda, fake Charles Manson, haven't done him in a while. Another one that George is slightly uncomfortable about because it's like, well, the guy's a mass murderer. Yeah, but he's also kind of just a character, right? Bring back concept characters. Okay. I liked that when we used to do that. Do you guys remember when we used to do characters in development, or I forgot what we used to call it, but it was, and each of us would come up with a really high concept, low payoff character and would present it, and we'd go around and each of us would do, I think, 2. I think that's where Man Trying to Have a Period originated. Was one of the ones that I did. Jason, underdeveloped characters, Wheel of Characters, we've also called it that as well. I would be contempt with Ticket Mouse 5 times a week. I'm assuming that means content rather than contempt. Halloween 2017 was Sports Dracula. 2017 Halloween Sports Dracula. I'll check it out. Clarence Murphy. Okay, this is the secret information I was going to tell you about that. There is one of us that is so beaten by Clarence Murphy that anytime he is mentioned, this person powers down. It's not George. George loves Clarence. But someone else on our crew.
Really appreciate you.
Matter of fact, Clarence was just proposed 2 days ago or something. And this person was silent and staring off into the middle distance when Clarence's name was mentioned.
I really appreciate you.
It wasn't me, and it wasn't George. But I don't want to get into who it was. Goatfish Man. That sounds oddly familiar. I remember that we did a character named Goatfish Man, but I have no idea what the character was about, what it was based on. It was based on some legend from Lake Granbury or something like that. Hey, yeah, I want to plug the fact that you can subscribe to this Twitch channel. And if you subscribe to it, you don't see ads. It's important. Subscriptions are important to a lot that goes on. So, and you can even gift subscriptions to other people. You can give away subscriptions, which is so nice. Somebody wants Dr. Boner pills. That is a good idea. I see where you're going with that. That's a good idea. Same Sad Man. That's the one that Junior is always proposing that we do, that I don't know that we've ever actually done, have we? Did I ever call his bluff one day and actually write a Same Sad Man?
I really appreciate you.
Look at that. Persian Texan. Boom. What'd I tell you about that guy? Persian Texan is one of the most charitable P1s I've ever known. And he just gave away 5 Tier 1 subscriptions to help you guys out and to help the Twitch channel out. And this Twitch channel benefits At Last, the boarding experience that my friend Randy started down there in southern Dallas. And I mean, it's a great concept, and it's been making a difference in these kids' lives, which is really cool. And we toured it. He even named a few of the areas of the boarding house, I guess you'd call it the dorm, for the musers. Each one of us got some, it's like the Gordon Keith Memorial, maybe it's the laundry room or something like that. I forget. But anyway, yes.
I really appreciate it.
Tico Savage, we have 380 subscribers. Is that right? That is awesome. That's really fantastic. I would not have guessed that high. Lee Harvey Oswald 42069 gifted 5 Tier 1 subs to the Gordon Keith community here. Thank you. Thank you. Gifted a total of 12 so far. You are awesome. Thank you. I don't like saying that about someone with that name, but you've done a great service.
I really appreciate you.
How are the Stars doing, by the way? Are they on now? Is that thing started? They are 1-0 right now. Oh, somebody said they just won. Game just started. I know the game just started. I know it starts around this time. So we're gonna have to stop here pretty soon because I know a lot of you people probably want to watch the Stars game. And I generally don't like to go, more than an hour or so on this. I wonder if I can get this to work.
I really appreciate you.
I do want to see if I can somehow get this to work. Hold on a second. Go over here.
I really appreciate you.
And do this. Why is it not recognizing?
I really appreciate you.
For some reason, it's not picking up.
I really
Default device. I really want my phone to be able to call someone, but the cam link is not working. What's going on with my cam link? I guess I could just do it the old way. I thought what we'd do is at least find out what is going to be on Free for All tonight. You see that? I'm sure you can hear that. Hey, Mike.
Hello, Gordon.
How are you?
Just watching a little hockey here.
Oh, yeah. What game?
Your Dallas Stars. Why don't I see you?
Oh, because I've got your video broadcasting on the Twitch, so you can't see me.
Okay.
But it's okay. I can see you. Everybody can see you.
Thank God.
We wanted to know, we're about to sign off tonight on Twitch, but we did want to get a hold of you and find out how you're doing, because I know you had that infected scrotum.
What?
Is that not true?
Oh. How can I answer that? How could you possibly have known it, even if it were true?
Uh-oh, I lost your audio.
I'm healthy in that area.
Oh, your taint and scrot are healthy.
Roger that.
But you have something called ED, and I don't know. I have to admit, I don't know what this is.
Ed.
Yeah, you sent me a text. You sent me a text, and it said simply, "Help! I have Ed," and I don't know what that means.
Some of your viewers probably know. You'll get there, Gordon. You'll get there.
Easy Cord 24 says, "Doocy, I love you so hard."
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
Just a nice, innocent, sweet way to express affection.
Indeed. American Stap 1 says, "We want Sam Gannon." Is Sam around there?
She is. Sam, can you be seen on camera? You all right with that? Here she comes.
Hello,
Say
Gordo.
hi.
Hey, Sam, how are you?
You know, I'm just chilling, eating this popcorn. We have a popcorn machine in the hallway, so
Oh,
I
that's
like to
nice.
eat. Yeah, what's shaking with you?
Well, I was wrapping up my Twitch stream, and I wanted to find out what was going to be on Free For All tonight, and around what time will you guys be hitting the air?
We'll be hitting the airwaves around 10:40. So for those of you, please join us.
That's usually between. I'm not going to call it what they call it in hockey because Gordon will be weird about it.
What do you mean?
Between segments of the game, usually it's during intermission.
Oh, well, ask Sam what they are, since you are being childish, Mike.
So you can tune over to us for a few minutes.
Yeah, do that, please, and thank you.
What do they call it in hockey? I don't understand. Isn't it Menses? Don't they call it the three Menses?
Period is what they call it.
Whoa. Sam.
Okay.
So offensive.
Boy, Gordon's suddenly a choir boy when Sam comes over. So I just want to know what's on Free For All tonight. Talking about, with me, it's infections and erectile dysfunction. You know.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Listen to her back there. I bet she's. Does she like overhear you talking to your doctor?
I usually don't have those conversations here in the office. I'm usually crying in the car when I have them, begging for some remedy. Please, I'll do anything.
Please,
really.
I'll try anything.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
All right. So 10:40 tonight. You're gonna have a little free for all with Sam.
You bet.
It's gonna have a hockey emphasis to it, won't it?
Oh, maybe a little bit, but the game's going on, so we'll do some other stuff. We'll talk some Cowboys. Sam has a charity event coming up that's really pretty cool that she's going to talk about as well. So we're going to do a little counter programming, you know what I mean, that's against the hockey game. That's how we're going to roll.
We do have a few questions here from the chat on Twitch.
What you got?
Somebody wanted to know if Sam knows what the Dunham Zone is.
She probably doesn't. Sam, do you know what the Dunham Zone is on the Musers? The Dunham Zone?
The Dunham Zone. I don't believe I do.
She doesn't know. It's something Gordon made up about George. Supposedly, when George gets into the vicinity of having to go number 2, that's the Dunham Zone. Did I describe it correctly?
That is correct. and now listeners have latched onto that and will often announce on Twitter when they enter the Dunham Zone.
I really appreciate you.
It's very offensive. Your best
What's
friend.
funny is I listen.
What?
I listen all the time, but I didn't know it. I heard you reference it, but until we did the show together last Friday, I didn't know exactly what it was.
I really appreciate you.
Sorry, George, but it did kind of tickle me. I can't lie, and it led to another expansion of that conversation, which got some reaction as well.
So my question is, what is the Doocy Zone? If that's the Dunham Zone, then what's the Doocy Zone refer to?
That's like we talked about on the air last week. It results in having to hand out cigars afterwards.
Oh, you're great, Mike. We enjoy you as always. Sorry, I'm getting
Gordon.
too many texts here. My text is blowing up. All right, well, you have a great night, Mike.
All right, you too. See ya.
Okay.
Bye.
There he is. Michael Adolph Doocy joining us here on the Twitch stream. Thanks to all you P1s, man, and all these people that subscribed, that gifted subscriptions. You're so kind. I'm glad we did this tonight. I almost had to call this off tonight because of something that came up at the last minute. But I was encouraged to go ahead, go on the air anyway, on the stream anyway. And I'm glad I did. You guys always put me in a good mood. And you guys gave me, look at this, got some great ideas for characters. to do. Ones I'd totally forgotten about. Thank God. You guys are the best. Love you. Proud of you. Thank you for being here. 7:35 regular time, and go Stars. Hope the Stars win tonight. I love you. Good night. Let's see what kind of weird freeze frame we end on this time.